Kongman,
What's
how are
going
you,
on
dude?
there? Doing well, man. How you guys doing?
Doing good, doing good. Thanks for coming on with us again after yesterday. Let's just kind of give everybody a quick recap. You posted this just a couple days ago over on X. You said I was just fired from my job again for conservative beliefs. This is with a 7+ minute video here. We watched it on our stream, but just give everybody a quick TLDR on this.
Yeah, TLDR is that right before I was about to head out to work, I get a call from an executive, and because I get so many spam calls these days, I don't have it so that my phone rings for an unknown number. So it's an unknown number, get a voicemail. Hey, do not come to work, do not come to campus before you take this phone call. So I'm like, I'm probably screwed. This is like PTSD. This happened to me 4 years ago when I used to work for a pharma company, and they did the same thing because I was fired for being against the vaccine mandates. And of course, being against the vax mandates at a pharma company is a no-no. And then so I'm like, oh, damn, this is going to happen again, isn't it? And then so
Whoa, hold on. Back up. So wait, you worked at a pharma company during COVID?
that, yeah.
And you were like, no. Don't, I'm not taking this shit.
I mean, it was just unbelievable because I majored in chemical engineering, for those who don't know, and I do have a pharmaceutical background. I did pharmacology research in college, so it was like I'm like used to this stuff. And we just kind of threw out like over 100 years worth of vaccine technology and consensus just to forcibly jab everyone with an experimental vaccine that was developed in 6 months with no longitudinal study. I was like, hey, this is kind of crazy. Let's not force people to do it. Anyways, they didn't like that. They fired me. And then so I thought, I was like, man, this is going to happen again, isn't it? And sure enough, it happened. And he was accusing me of all crazy things. And of course, I'm a staunch right winger. I'm not ashamed of that. I am a Christian conservative. I also love anime and all those things too. But, it's like, I feel like I'm just a normal person from like 40, 50 years ago. But apparently that's grounds for dismissal and for calling people who were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk hags and psychopaths. They said that I was calling all women that. I'm like, no, I don't view women like that. I've very much been clear on my platform that I respect women. I believe men should protect and honor women. I believe that chivalry is a very good thing. We've lost that in our society. And just because feminism is rampant in our society and so much man-hating is there, doesn't like give men an excuse to be unchivalrous, essentially. And so, anyways, I was trying to explain that to him, and then he just wouldn't listen. He said, no, you're terrible, you're a bigot, you're a dehumanizing, derogatory person. And I'm just trying to explain things to him. He just would not listen. And eventually I'm like, is there any way to reverse this? Any way we can work through this? He said, no, top down decisions made. And I was like, okay, well, this kind of sucks because I thought, it really does feel like a stab in the back because you start working for places, and it's not a huge company, but you start working for places, developing these relationships, and it sucks. It really does suck. It's like instead of having that conversation first, it's like, okay, we're gonna fire you because we already created a false image of what we believe you are to be, and no excuse, it's just awful.
I want to tell you released some of the call that you had with this person. By the way, we spoke privately about this. You said it's okay to mention that you worked in education.
Yeah, we'll just say the education sector, which is why yesterday I was explaining that there are students involved, which I don't want to get them kind of entangled with all of that, which is the biggest reason why I don't disclose the place I worked at. Otherwise, I would.
Okay, so the pushback on that we heard, and Kirsha actually wanted to ask this question in particular, was previously when there's been firings when it comes to the education sector, right? Places have been called out, schools have been called out, but the pushback hasn't gone to the students. They have not been caught in the crossfire, if you will, right? So how would you respond to that and saying that there's precedent here saying that the students won't be caught and it'd be for the greater good to speak out on this so another Kongman Lee doesn't happen in the future?
Yeah, I totally get that point of view. I err on the side of like extreme caution when it comes to minors and comes to students because of what I've seen on the internet, what people can do on the internet, and people will target others. And I just didn't want to risk it. I believe there's a lot of innocent people who could potentially, even if the possibility is small, a lot of the times we don't even think of the possibility of certain things. Like, for example, when I got doxxed earlier this year, like I didn't even think that would happen. I saw other people get doxxed, but I was like, oh, that can't happen to me. The possibility of happening to me is very low. And then it happened. And I'm like, whoa. So I think after that moment too, I was like, start to get really cautious about the kind of information that I put out and the kind of people I get caught in the crossfires of my online posting and my content creation. And so I do think that there is merit to what Kirsch said yesterday. And I totally understand the people who feel that way. I just err on the side of extreme caution when it comes to minors and students.
Are you more concerned? Obviously, I get what you're saying, right? Are you more concerned about the left freaking out about this, or the right taking action against potential, people caught in the crossfire, or is it just anybody?
I think anybody, but I do see an increasing number of right wing affiliated people, anons on the internet who are doxing people, and I just don't want to risk that with minors. I just don't want I don't want them to get involved. Yeah.
So I wanted to go back to your call, because there was one point in particular that we all kind of giggled at yesterday here. I want to play this just for a second as well. Let's just kind of see what happened, because I feel like this is. Did you edit this at all? This is definitely.
Yeah, I did.
Right?
I definitely edited it just to shorten it. I didn't like take out parts of the conversation to like take it out of context and make him look like worse than he was. I actually saved this image. He said some like other insane things, and he was a lot more emotional than was portrayed here. It was a 30-minute phone call.
Okay,
but yeah,
I wanted to play this part.
Do you plan on releasing that actually, like the whole thing eventually?
Yeah, maybe one day if people do want it. But yeah.
I actually have a question about that. So, like, when did you start recording? When you knew he was basically going to fire you, and did you tell him that it was being recorded?
Well, it was just a scary. I have PTSD, and I wish I recorded the first phone call when I got fired 4 years ago. So I just was like, just in case there's a potential lawsuit, and just in case there could be something, there's any like legal action to be taken. I just wanted like records.
Yeah. Okay, before we get to the actual call, do you think that there could potentially be legal recourse for you being fired for this, or is this more of a? Do you think that they just, do you think there's quote unquote just cause, or you feel like they have just cause?
I do think in the state that I live in, it is an at-will termination state, and so they can terminate me for any reason. And in my employment contract, they did say that they have the right to terminate me for any reason they deem necessary. And so I could potentially go along the religious discrimination route, but that would kind of be hard to prove. So I am still talking to some lawyers, but not sure exactly. Yeah.
It is absolutely wild that you've gotten fired for common sense multiple times now.
It's the times we live in, it's crazy.
Let's get to this call here, because there's a point here which we all laughed at, which I wanted to play.
Now, these are women who are untethered to their family. They don't have good family lives, right? They have abandoned their families, and they don't have children. So
you don't know that. You don't know that.
Okay, sir. So this is, sir.
Suggest that the answer is to.
Am I allowed to finish, or are you going to keep white-splaining to me?
Which his response here is like everything. Were you walk us through that interaction right there? Because we laughed at that, because it's almost like using their sword on themselves.
Yeah, exactly. That was towards the middle part of the conversation, but he would not allow me to fully explain myself for more than 20, 30 seconds at a time. And I allowed him to speak for over a minute at a time, just explain where he's coming from, where his stance is, where the company's stance is, all that stuff. I'm like, okay, so then allow me to explain that post that you're specifically referring to, and let me explain what I believe and how you are taking that out of context. And he's like, nope, not going to listen. You don't know that. And he was accusing me of not doing the research, not knowing anything, attacking people, all kinds of marginalized groups. And I'm like, dude, I'm a Korean American. We make up 0.6% of the population. I grew up being called Chinese and Japanese all the time. And there's times where I felt like I didn't belong. And there's times where I'm like, man, like I feel left out. And I'm just like, dude, like isn't that your whole mantra of being inclusive to people like me? But then just because I don't toe the line and because I'm not in line with exactly what you want me to say and believe, that you're going to attack me like this and unjustly fire me. And he just wouldn't let me talk. And I think for the most part, I was as cordial as possible, but I was getting frustrated. Like, just let me talk. Wasn't the whole premise of let minorities speak, hear Black voices, right? Hear Asian voices, hear their voices, their marginalized voices. He wouldn't let me speak. And so all of that talk it's all nonsense. It really is nonsense. They don't actually believe that. They just use it to virtue signal and use it to win brownie points so that they look so virtuous and so like amazing. And it's all sanctimony at the end of the day.
Yeah, the tolerant left being so tolerant yet again.
What would you say to people who say you have been introduced to consequence culture for your actions?
I mean, it's fine. There's a lot of liberals who are pulling on my tweet where I was like happy that people who celebrated the death of Charlie Kirk were fired. And I'm like, well, there's no equivalence. I mean, I hold normal conservative views from like 40, 50 years ago. And yeah, you might think it's extreme because the Overton window shifted so far to the left. But my focus is first like God, then it's family, then it's the freedoms and goodness, virtue, beauty, protecting all those things. And a lot of the times you have to expose the evil and the ugliness in our society in order to do that. But, oh, that's so evil. I don't think so. I think it's very normal. And I think that's a normal opinion to have. In the same way, like I don't think anyone should be fired for being pro LGBTQ. But it's gone to a point where like I don't think anyone, regardless, left or right, should have a job at a company if they celebrate the death of innocent people. For those who they disagree with politically, you celebrate their murder, you dance on their grave, and you call for more of those assassinations. I don't think you should be employed anywhere. I think you should be ostracized from society because you have broken the social contract. We can't have a conversation anymore. And so it's like they think it's hypocrisy. I'm like, you know what? Whatever. You call it consequence culture. I think I was unjustly fired. You guys can all look through my tweets and you can look at all my posts and see if I am truly this crazy person that they made me out to be. But I think I'm a pretty normal person. I think I might have been even considered liberal like 100 years ago.
Right. Well, I think that's your cardinal sin of knowing what a man is and what a woman is. It's pretty rough, man. So that's crazy. Well, look, you lost your job and there was a great outpouring of support. I think your Give Send Go is like crossed like almost $10,000, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Congratulations on that. But actually, like right after you were on for a few minutes, it was announced that you were rehired. You have been rehired, uncanceled, as Benny Johnson has hired you. And this was announced yesterday. He said, "I'm proud to announce that Congman Lee has just accepted a position at our growing media company. Congman will join Team Benny immediately, making this the single shortest cancellation in modern history. About 24 hours. Congman will work in our editorial and creative teams at Benny Media. He's a skilled editor and sharp digital talent. We are very proud to have him join the team." So
Congrats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So walk me through this. When did Benny reach out? How quickly did this happen? And when do you start working for him?
Yeah, it was crazy. So I posted it and I knew it would get some traction, but I didn't think it would go viral to the point where Elon Musk is replying to it and just so many people were responding to it, sending encouragements and telling them like telling me that this wasn't right and just being really awesome and supportive and caring. And Benny, he replied to me, he said, "I'd like to hire you." And I said, "Oh, can I DM you?" He's like, "Sure." And then he DM'd me. And then we talked it out for a bit, and then we exchanged a phone call, and it aligned. He's like, "You seem really great. Like, send me your stuff." I sent him some of my video editing, and he's like, "Dude, you'd be a perfect fit for our team." And it works exactly in line with what I already had planned after this firing, is that I'm going to be working part-time for him with his team to support whatever the work he's doing over at Benny Media. And then I can, for the rest of the week and all the time that I have, I can work on my own content, build on my own brand and my own channel. And it's a really good position. And I'm just so thankful. I'm thankful for all of you guys who have supported and donated. I was blown away. I've never done a Give Send Go before. And there's a part of me, I was just insecure a bit. I thought maybe like a few thousand at most, but it's reached almost 12,000 at this point, and I am blown away. To be honest, like I was struggling financially a lot the past 2 years, and just to see this outpouring of support like really does mean a lot. It really means the world to me. And yeah, just gonna be going full, pedal to the metal and going all in on making content, talking about things that matter to me. Like all the diversity and the DEI and the disgusting thing that's infecting not only Hollywood, but also anime and Korean culture, Korean dramas. And it's all getting infected with all this, talking about culture, talking about politics, all these things that matter to me, because I know it matters to all of us as well. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm just really grateful for this opportunity. And grateful for everyone, grateful to God. And yeah.
Well, maybe you can make a regular appearance over here on Side Scrollers now. Now that you're not tied down by the man, you can do some stuff with us as well. We'll find a way. You also you have your YouTube channel as well, which is great. So people can go subscribe to that, Kongman Lee TV, which we'll make sure to put a link to that for everybody down below, and go subscribe, and we'll continue to watch you grow. And if you guys want to contribute to the Give, Send, Go, the newly employed Kongman Lee has down there, so you guys can help him stay on his feet over here, which is just wonderful. But congratulations, man. We always talk about how, like, the space that we work in, these things happen where people are canceled. Going back to the start of the show, we had Carol Lynn get canceled, and then she ends up better than ever working for Ripaverse. There's so many people who have had cancellations happen, and it's the best thing that ever happened to them. So I'm sure that's what's going to happen to you as well.
Yeah, and as a Christian, I just hold on to the promise in Romans 8:28 that God works all things together for the good of those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. Sorry, I got like 2 hours of sleep last night, so I'm like all over the place. But yeah, so thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I do think that these cancellations are blessings in disguise, because then you find your squad, you find your people. And although we don't have to agree on everything, like we do agree on one fundamental thing, is that, we can find the common humanity in each other. And I think that is really important.
I want to get to, we do have a couple super chats that actually for you real quick, if you don't mind, Kongman.
Yeah.
So real quick, Dak Forever says, getting fired like this shows you who they are. They don't deserve your hard work and dedication. Thanks, Dak Forever.
Thank you.
Two's News says, being this job was an education, was this employer government funded in any way? Because that makes this a worse offense and should be made public.
Yeah, I'm actually looking into that, because I was talking to some lawyers and they said, like, look into that. And I was like, okay, so I don't know yet, just because I have been busy. I'm in Nashville right now. That's why I'm not in my usual PC setup. I'm at a conference, but I will be looking into it. Yeah.
Awesome. We have this from Cold Acid, says, for the leftist, inclusion is only for fellow travelers and useful idiots. Diversity of thought is verboten in those circles. Mahong. Thank you, Cold Acid. Kongman, I don't know if you know what Mahong means, but
Mahong?
You ever heard of Mahong before?
I haven't. No.
Blabs, can
you wouldn't.
Can you educate him really quick?
I said mahjong backwards, or like incorrectly, and so it's mahong now.
Oh, okay. There we go. Joey says, these crazies are getting defeated at every turn, and I'm all for it. Thank you, Joey.
Yep.
And we have this from Montesquieu, says, there's currently a leftist invasion underway in programming. I read a very interesting article written by a programmer that said normal people describe reality while leftists prescribe it. Interesting, Montesquieu. Thank you very much. And let's see.
I think that's actually a really good point, because I think what fundamentally differentiates the right and the left today is that the right understands reality. They understand material reality. They understand natural law and how people operate and think. And then the left, they don't. And they have this like crazy utopian, unrealistic view of how people should live and how people think and act. And then they try to destroy everyone's lives as a result of it,
They're all insecure little bitches.
And mentally ill.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
And Marmalin says, did you catch that he said this was shocking and recently brought up, then goes on to say, we have a large file of all your offenses. Yeah. Did you pick up on that? Like,
yeah, I'm like, he was mad. I didn't include this, but as part of the phone call, he said that you didn't disclose that you had a social media presence, and I'm like, you never asked. But then once they found it, they like kept a whole file full, and I'm like, okay, then the moment you saw something that was potentially concerning, why didn't you just talk to me? This is why HR departments are so stupid and useless. They don't actually care. They don't actually care about the whole, like, you know, oh, we value diversity of thought and we want to be inclusive of everyone, no matter your religion, your belief. Like, they don't actually believe that, because the moment you don't fall in line with what they believe in, they're like, screw you. And they will fire you and try to destroy your life and ruin your reputation and your image and everything in the industry, whatever industry they're a part of.
Well, we are very excited that you landed on your feet so quickly. And
thank you.
Your new job with Benny. We haven't actually met Benny before, but it'd be great to maybe now that you're in, maybe you can tell him that we're not so bad over here at Side Scroll.
Oh yeah, he's great, and he hangs out with all the guys over at G&G and Friday Night Tights, and he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations, man. Very proud of you, and keep us updated on your progress.
Thank you, everyone. Love you guys, and God bless.
Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
We'll catch you
All
soon.
right, peace out, guys.
Bye.
The great Congman Lee. Congratulations to him and his new gig over at Benny Media. Is that what you call it? Benny? Well, anyways, it's Benny Johnson over there. Great to see Benny go to bat for Congman right there. I got another video for you right here for you to check out.